Hello everyone, AV Ultima here, bringing you some Battlefield 3 multiplayer. I've played about 4 or 5 rounds of this, and I'm liking it so far. Much better than the beta. I'm on the map Grand Bazaar, the Rush version. I have the Assault class, M16A1 ACOG, M1911, the M320 grenade launcher, and defibrillators. Yes. And this is not live commentary like my other videos. I would find it kind of hard to play and commentate it properly. And don't mind the cut up here. I was just making sure I was video recording. I would hate to go through the whole match and not be recording anything. I'll be making note of some things in the video, but for now, since it is the first video, I'll be talking about my first impressions and what I think of it so far. One of the first things I noticed that was a huge problem in the beta was the instant deaths and getting killed behind cover. Now that barely happens ever. Getting killed from cover, that happens rarely, but not often, as much as it did in the beta. But shots seem to register more, and you don't get instantly killed anymore. Like, you don't get straight from 100% to 0%. You actually see flinching, you see a death screen, and it's a good thing. I'm happy about that. And other than that, mainly everything else is just nitpicky things, and like the deploy button is different. I don't know if you guys noticed that yet. Not sure if I've died yet, but you'll notice that the deploy button is more solid. It feels like an actual button now. It's not just a graphic, so it's good. Also, it's not glitchy anymore. When you click it, it responds immediately. It doesn't do that, saving thing. I don't know what that was. Also, you'll be able to see just in a second the sniper glint and how much it's been greatly reduced. In the beta, it just seemed completely overdone, but now it's just a nice little speck that you can barely see, which is good, because in the beta, it seemed like it was actually a disadvantage to the person looking at the sniper than a disadvantage to the actual sniper. I still don't fully support it though, because, well, actually, hold that thought. Notice here how it didn't register the death until I actually fully died. Like, I could have been revived and it not count toward my deaths. I don't believe it did that in the beta or any other Battlefield game. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I do like that change, if it really was a change. Like I was saying before, I don't really support the whole glint thing. I mean, it happens in every environment and every angle, and it doesn't seem, real or right to me. It's kind of off. And we just got past the first set here, heading towards the second set. I believe there are 4 sets to this map, and this is the second one. And one thing I really noticed about... I tried to revive a guy here, didn't work, got past the death point. One thing I really noticed between the other Battlefield games and this game is that they're really mixing it up with the types of maps they have. Like, they also have short to mid-range maps, but still also have that Battlefield large, drawn-out map feel, which I'm happy about. Which I'm sure they brought the small to mid-range maps to support some of the Call of Duty players that will be moving over. Which I like. That's not a bad thing. It can be really exciting, these small maps with the large players. And I get killed here by this guy. I didn't know he could get up there. But I can only fall for those kinds of things once. I'll be looking up there more often now, like right there. Right here I see a sniper. His sniper glint that's happening. Like I said, it happens from every angle and every environment. I would find it even more difficult for the sniper glint to happen in real life situations, since it is raining. I mean, there's a lot of cloud cover, so that's another reason why I don't really support the glint. I mean, it's convenient, it stops sniper camping, but just with the rest of the game, it seems off, And right here, I think we get A. And oh, I didn't even realize we planted at some point at B before. Oh well. Yeah, I get taken down here. And another small difference is that you'll see coming up remotely soon is the change to squads and teams. Now that was a pretty big problem with the beta, where you couldn't choose your squad. You had to just keep leaving and coming in to make sure you can get in teams, and DICE finally fixed that. You can now choose from a list of squads from Alpha to Hotel. Get in one, make it private, invite your friends to it. It's much easier now. I'm glad they did it. And oh, right here I try to find a flanking point, but then I just come into this room where I don't know, there's nothing in it. It's weird. And oh, by the way, if you guys don't use it, use the M320. It is so handy to have in your arsenal. You can put rounds downfield, get some damage, get some kill assists, suppress the enemy. It is so handy, and you get 4 shots, I believe. So it is so nice to have. Yeah, you may get rid of your medic bag, but what's the point? I mean, I'm not really the campy type of player. I like, you know, moving up slowly, but then moving around a lot. I don't really stand one spot for a very large amount of time, so I don't set down those medic bags. And besides, you heal automatically anyway, which is actually a pretty... People didn't support that. Well, from what I noticed in the forums, people were complaining, what's the point of the medic class if you can just, you know, heal yourself? Well, that's kind of true. I mean, I don't really need the medic bag, because after a few seconds, you know, I start healing up again. I'd rather have something that can put more damage down range than something that I rarely use, but I guess it's just play preference, you know? And I go on a bit of a streak here. Not too bad. I get pretty lucky in some cases. I notice getting lucky just happens a lot in Battlefield. Feels good. One thing I really noticed is that I'm not reviving as many people as I did in the beta. I think it's because since I didn't play it for a few weeks, I'm getting back into the steps of, oh, I should go revive him. I should switch to the classes, and he'll be a team player. By the way, guys, yeah, if you play this game, make sure you be a team player. Do your role. Do what you need to do. Oh, something interesting happens in a second here. This guy ends up standing in the doorway and blocking me. So that's kind of weird. I could see someone completely abusing that by just standing in front of a door and just griefing our team. Oh, and here's, yeah, the squad and teams. Get a quick look at it. Here I joined a squad. It's pretty easy. Bam. And I saw the people in the squad before I was able to join it, so DICE did a good job refining the squad and teams user interface. I think right up here is when we make our final push to B. Oh, one thing I didn't give mention to is that partway through, you notice I switched to the iron sights. Well, that's because, I don't know, I didn't feel comfortable with the ACOG for some reason. It just didn't feel right. Shots were inaccurate to me, and it feels better with iron sights. I feel more accurate with it, which is kind of weird since, you know, the ACOG gives a 4x zoom, but no, it's all preference. The weapon I'm looking forward to is the F2000. That gun was amazing in beta. I don't know if any of you got a chance to use it, but it was really good. I'm not sure how that guy got there, but should be pushing up to B very soon. Oh yes, DICE. A lot of people were complaining about that there was no indication that you were, you know, dying or about to die, but DICE changed that in this, where when you're close to death, your screen turns somewhat black and whitish, and there's blood all around your screen. So that was good by DICE. But, you know, for all we know, or at least in my experience, that may have been the beta, but because of the instant death problem that I was describing, it, you know, really couldn't really notice it. Yeah, right here, I think I get killed by a squad spawn right here. He spawned on him right as I killed him. And this part's pretty funny. I see my teammate like running up behind him right there, and then I assume he's going for the knife, so I quickly spawn on Night Ranger and take the kill. I think he failed anyway, but we'll just say I saved his life there. All right, helping the team. Yeah, I don't know. I get pretty confused here. Yeah, I actually, first time I played, I did not notice him standing on the roof over there. I knew I was shot at, but I didn't actually see him. I think my eyes were off screen somewhere, or I was doing something else. I don't know. I usually don't like staying in spawn after we've gotten past a certain point, because I want to get up and take position before the defending side gets up and takes a position to sort of rock them a little bit. Now here, I get a pretty good flank, but you know, I get a lot of kill assists. And one thing I wanted to mention was sometimes I feel that I kill people quickly, and sometimes I don't. I kill them, seems like it takes way too many shots. I've had that experience. Like right there, I mean, it seems like it took me a while to kill that one guy just standing there, even though if you saw in previous where I killed guys extremely quickly, just like that. So I don't know what the cause of that is. Lag, perhaps. Yeah, I was only hitting, you know, his legs or something. But there are a lot of, I bet there are a lot of factors that play into that. So right here, I get a bit stuck here. Don't worry. I get my revenge on those two. And I was getting a little mad at my squad mates there. I don't know what they were doing. They're like they're snipers in prone in just random positions. I just hate that. Come on, don't be a sniper just because it's cool. Actually use the class correctly. A lot of times I see people just in places nowhere near the battlefield, just prone, you know, getting scores of 6 and 1 in a game, and it's, come on, do something else. Get some kills on the battlefield. And boom, I get 2 kills here. I wasn't expecting that. I think I killed one guy behind. No, never mind. I got 2 right there, yeah. And pulling off a 3rd. I get a okay score by the end of this. I like how he looked. That enemy looked completely. What's going on right there? Oh, and a teammate here starts shooting at me and takes a swing at me with a knife, and it kind of spooks me a little bit. So he got me killed there. This is a bit of a death cam glitch, I guess. Or just the shaking. But it's not as prevalent as beta, like getting shoved under the ground or looking at scenes under the ground. That doesn't happen at all anymore, which is good. I'm glad about that. It seems like DICE fixed all the things that was wrong in the beta, and then added some little things. So, if any of you are wondering if things are messed up from the beta, no, they fixed it pretty well. Also, knifing, yeah, it's easier now. I mean, not easier, I mean, it's much more refined, where in the beta I felt when I knifed, even though I was next to that person, it wouldn't register the knife or something, and I would miss, and it'd be really frustrating. But every time I've tried to go for a knife, I've gotten it. Oh, I don't know if you guys noticed that back there, but that was the new mobile spawn point. Not only is it just the green box with the antenna, it's also the green box with a giant satellite dish next to it. So now, you guys that were complaining about how it was too hard to see, well, there you go. DICE fixed that for you. It looks completely out of place, as you saw. So you should have no problems noticing that out on the battlefield. Now right here we get A planted. I attempt to defend it, but I wasn't watching the left side, which is where most of the enemies were coming from. And look at this. He ends up defusing it without looking at it. I didn't even know you could do that. I knew you could, you know, reload, shoot, and do everything and defuse at the same time, but I thought you always had to be looking at it. But I guess that's not the case. Oh, and another thing about bomb defusing is that in the beta, when the bomb stopped beeping, you couldn't defuse it anymore. But if you were able to start defusing it before it stopped beeping, you'd be able to defuse it no matter what. Meaning that, let's say it had a set time of 45 seconds, but you started defusing it like 2 seconds before it stops beeping, you could defuse them no matter what, even though it took you an extra 5 seconds, which is the same even for this. I don't know if that's intentional or not. I think it should be like Bad Company, where it's a set amount of time, and even though you get it before it stops beeping, it should still blow up. I mean, it doesn't really make much sense that the beeping determines if it should blow up or not. It should be a set time. And right here, I kind of blame my teammate on this death. I mean, he should have had that guy. I was able to pull out my pistol and shoot before. I don't know. Teammates, what are you gonna do? Now, this should be the second to last points of views. Oh, saw a tracer there fly by my head. Oh, and I get lucky here, really lucky. I guess I kind of drop shotted him there and got a headshot. Speaking of headshots, it's really hard to tell if they're one-shot killer or not. I've shot at heads and I get hit markers with no kills. People have shot me and killed me what seemed like in one hit, and it ended up being a headshot. So I assume that's more lag problems right there. That even though it does look like you hit the head, it doesn't register it immediately. So that's kind of disappointing, but I haven't had it happen too much. And then I catch another one off guard here, even though he should have had me. I don't know what those two were doing there. No, I think this is where we get it. I mean, we moved up pretty good. Got some pretty good positions. Let me go ahead and talk about the maps so far. This one, as you can see, it's not quite like Metro. Metro was long range at first, mid to long range, and then it just went to complete short range. Well, this throughout is short to medium range, and it stays constant the whole time. One problem I have with this map is that all the entry points, the choke points, are either there's only one or two. Usually when you're playing a Battlefield game or a game as tactical as this, you need at least 3 or 4 entry points into one way, so defenders actually have, you know, a hard time defending that point. But it's not the case with this one. As you saw, there's really only that alleyway to the right or this, you know, open way to the left here, and they're all pretty much in the same direction. So this guy right here could just stay in one spot but watch both ways. But I think it should be completely different for, you know, defending players. They should also have an advantage of staying in one spot and camping, but also have the disadvantage of having to watch multiple areas at one time, but that's not the case here. It's just mainly run at them and hope you got enough manpower to overwhelm them. Which is okay. I mean, it shows teamwork. And we just gotta take care of the guys still in spawn here. Almost messed up and lost that kill there, but I took him down. Also noticed a few HUD changes. It now actually shows the hints off to the right. If you pull out a weapon, and it'll tell you things you can do with it. Like right there, I switched to the M320. Has a 40mm frag on it. I switched to the defibs. Left mouse button to use. You know, it's helpful. I'll probably be removing that though. It kind of gets in the way for me. Oh, and if there's you guys have probably already noticed, if there's a dead man on your squad, it won't remove him for the list. It'll just gray him out. So when you join a squad, you won't not know if it's full or not immediately. It'll show, oh, this guy's dead. He's not there. Oh, and a really weird glitch happens right here. Just give it a second. Happens soon. Yeah, I go to kill this guy. Alright, I'm sitting here reloading, and then I was killed by Jake Vegas. I don't know what was going on. And then when I go to spawn, I have been switched to the other team. So I don't know how that happened, why. I guess the other team really needed me, so they switched me over. Yeah, I hope this doesn't happen often, because you could be on the last bomb site like this, and then be doing really good, and then get switched over and just end up losing. But you know what I noticed? That the only difference between winning and losing in Battlefield is 500 points. Yeah, you get a ribbon, you know, a win ribbon. If there's any other, you know, perks to winning, then tell me, because that's the only thing I've noticed. Just a ribbon that tells you that you've won. And in my case, 500 points is very minuscule to me. So as long as I do good in the round, I don't really care if we win or not. As long as I put in a good effort, get enough points, do I need to do to at least try to win, then I'm happy. And here's the black and white screen. It's not too black and white, it just hues out the colors a little bit. It's a pretty good indicator around death. I'm happy with it. And they get a tank here. I'm not sure why the attackers are given tanks at this point. I mean, it's a pretty short to medium range map. Do they really need a tank? I guess they do, considering what you might see in the next few minutes. So all in all, yeah, let's try to switch back here. All in all, I mean, this game is significantly better than the beta. If any of you are on the ropes about buying this game because of your experience with the beta, or heard things that was bad about the beta, then I think you're safe. I mean, everything that was wrong with it is pretty fixed. If there's any, you know, personal changes that you want in the beta that you notice that isn't in here, then I'm sorry for you. Everything that I want to change has pretty much been changed. The leveling up system is definitely different, but pretty similar. Oh, yeah, that's one problem that I have with beta, is that you can still clip through walls like that. They didn't implement any prone block as far as I can see. You can still go prone in a little wedge somewhere and shove yourself into the wall and just sit there and wait for any unsuspecting enemies to pass by. It's it's pretty bad. I was kind of disappointed when I got that kill there. It's funny, but you know, it's kind of bad for gameplay, especially for a game like this that's kind of realistic. Okay, I don't know what he was trying to do. A little confused there, I guess. And oh yeah, I switched off of the ACOGs equivalent to the Russians because I feel it was messing me up a little bit. Maybe it's just me. It's probably just me. During the beta, I was using the red dot sights. I wasn't using any of the ACOGs, so I guess I've just gotten used to it. Oh yeah, and right here oh, no, never mind. That's a little bit later in the video. One reason why the attackers could be having a bit of trouble is because I think this is a... What is it? It's not the full 32. It's either 18 or 24. I'll have to take a look at when the scoreboard pops back up, but yeah, it's not as much as the default. But it's still okay, you know. I do like attacking side much better, though. Yeah, I don't get to camp and stand in one spot, but I like attacking. It's more exciting. I mean, taking at a different angles, trying to kill the campers, it just feels better. And usually the attackers get the most vehicles. And you see, what I've done is I pretty much spawned in the same spot, ran back to the same spot to defend, and it's just not as exciting. If I was attacking, I'd definitely be trying out different angles and just be more exciting. Oh, and the auto spawn function does work now. You just click deploy, and then when the timer goes all the way to 0, then you deploy immediately. There's no delay in it. Oh, and I drop shot right here. It somehow works. I don't suggest anybody to do drop shotting. It does not work in Battlefield 3. That guy, I just took that guy off guard. I play Call of Duty a bit, and I just sometimes react and drop shot on accident. So yeah, don't do that. Right here, I finally switched to the engineer to take out this tank. I don't know why I didn't do that in the first place. And I don't even know if it would have made much of a difference. They weren't really utilizing the tank very well at all. I don't think they had anybody repairing, or I don't even know who was driving it. A lot of times I felt like I was just skirting around it. They didn't even notice me when I was just around the tank. Usually when I try to dodge tanks and stuff, the tank usually notices me, but not the case here. I don't know if they changed up how vehicles are destroyed from beta to this build, but that was a bit easy to destroy, like 2 or 3 hits. It may have already been damaged, but in beta I remember shooting 4 or 5 rockets at one tank and it not go down. Perhaps I hit a weak spot or something. For those of you that haven't played the beta or checked out anything about Battlefield, the vehicle destruction is a bit different now. You can disable vehicles by shooting them just a few times with rockets, so you can get points just by shooting at tanks. You don't have to destroy it, which I like, because in both bad companies I would shoot 3 or 4 rockets at the tank, and then some other engineer would come out, destroy the tank, and I only get an assist. Well, now you can get an assist and get a vehicle destruction assist and disable assist and stuff like that, which I'm really glad DICE has implemented more ways of helping teammates, and it encourages people to help a lot more other than just not helping. I get some pretty lucky RPG shots here. Yeah, I do that same exact thing with my M320. So right there, guys, if you're using the assault class and you want to get more firepower downrange, then definitely use the M320 in place of the medikit bag. I think it helps you get more kills, suppress guys, and just gives that shock effect. And here we go, the end of the game. Here it's pretty much the same in beta, only a few differences. You can now skip when it's showing you the, come on, there it is, when it's showing you the things you've unlocked. Sound effects are different. I'm not sure if this is intentional, but if the worlds had a environmental effect, like the raining, it would stay on screen. I feel it's a glitch, honestly. The other difference is ribbons are now shown diagonally like that. I don't know, I kind of like it, the way they were just presented in a square way. It kind of seemed like the style of Battlefield 3, but, it looks fine. It's cool. Well, I end the game, I believe, 55-22 with a total of 16,000 plus points. Hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to subscribe if you want to see some more Battlefield 3 multiplayer. Also, check out my channel if you're interested in some Dragon Warrior monsters or the Binding of Isaac gameplay. Be sure to thumbs up the video, and I will see you guys next time.